Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I am having a good morning. I woke up kind of feeling a little less than wonderful, but I've literally been walking for the last uh, 3 hours and 40 minutes. Not continuously, but almost continuously. When I quit nicotine recently, I was doing the gum. I had been quit, and then I started again. I effed around and found out, yeah, that is really really easy to fall back into addiction. And so, a nice little lesson. But I'm out of it again, and for good, I believe. And it's been probably 3 months since I've had any nicotine. I wasn't smoking. I was just using like lozenges and stuff like that. But anywho, so that's all good. But during that process, I allowed myself to eat indiscriminately, not super indiscriminately, but pretty indiscriminately. And I actually gained like 10 pounds over the course of like 3 weeks at the Asian buffet, just doing it up. Like at the end of it, just ice cream trip after ice cream trip. My waiters, this happened multiple times, were literally looking at me like, like with a concerned look on their face, like, dude, is this guy okay? Oh my God. I can't believe you could pack this much food in them. And I could pack a lot of food. So I still have my little struggles and whatnot, but I've been getting a hold of myself once again. And the funny thing is once again, it affirms that it doesn't really matter what's going on outside as long as things are okay. In here, things are good. And when I feel are out of control in any way, after being out of integrity with myself, not being able to trust myself to do the things that I told myself that I was going to do, like when it came to drinking or drugs or a million different things, that I just could not trust myself for the longest time to follow through on anything that I said, for the most part. Not anything, but nearly anything, because the drugs, I was just out of control. I didn't have the discipline, just out of control. So now these days, one of the most important aspects of my how I feel, one of the most important things is the integrity with myself, to be able to look at myself in the mirror and say, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. Instead of, you bastard, I can't believe you put me in this position again. But now it is, thank you. Thank you, Bobby. You're doing such a great job. We're not perfect, but we're trying, and we are succeeding. And so anyway, and even if I was not presently succeeding, it's the effort, to take joy in my effort rather than my outcomes, because I can't control what happens out in the world. I can only control how I act. And we do have a choice when it comes to reacting to things. I didn't realize that. Like, you made me mad. No, not necessarily, because the same thing that happens to one person might make one person mad, and it might make the other person laugh. Like if a little kid comes up to you and goes, like he wants to fight and whatever, you're just going to laugh because it's hilarious. But if a grown adult comes up to you, it's a different story. But I say all of that to say this is, over the past little bit, to get rid of that extra 10 pounds that I put on, I had heard in the past that the best weight loss exercise was walking. And I was like, yeah, right. It just seems too simple. And so it actually, sometimes I got to hear things a number of times before it actually sinks in. And people like my sister told me about it. And, I hear it from my sister. And for some reason, when you hear it from like a bunch of health influencers on YouTube in conjunction with your sister, then it starts to sink in a little bit better. Work in progress. Anyways, so I guess the deal is with walking, and I've lost like 10 pounds ish in the last 3 weeks, simply by walking a lot, and then also doing fasted walking in the morning. First thing in the morning, I just start walking. I live in a big apartment building, so I've got all these halls. I just hall walk in the morning for a long time because it's cold outside. And although I don't mind the cold when I'm running, when I'm walking, I don't like it as much. And I do go outside for walks too, but it's just so convenient to walk out my door. And then for a while, I don't touch my phone first thing in the morning because it's a bunch of stressful stuff and our cortisol levels are high in the morning. But also, so that's been working very well. I just, in the morning, have some black coffee, which also helps mobilize, I guess, mobilize fat to be burned from like your stores, because that's all our fat is. It's stored energy. And we run off of two systems, either off of sugar or off of fat. We're like a hybrid system to power us. And so it's been working really well. And I've been feeling a lot more in control of myself, basically not eating until later on in the day. Another thing that I'm going to play with is just eating like honey or juice. Try juice fast. I hear those can be good. The thing is just to play with it. Play with these things. Like I'm even question like almost everything or the things that we're doing and say, is this the best way that I could be doing this? Like for instance, even I figured out that or I heard and then I've implemented it, a way that you can walk differently to incorporate your glutes more, because I have no butt whatsoever. My pants, I should invest in suspenders. They won't even stay up in the back. There's zero butt. So I'm now like 45 years old and just realizing, hey, I don't think I've worked out my butt my entire life. So I'm working on that too. Work in progress, but we all have these blind spots. I know I have these huge blind spots, and I think once in a while, I'm Mr. Clever Boy, but then I get taken down a notch, and I find out like pretty often that there's just a whole host of things that I've got these gigantic blind spots in. So to be open to such things, not to beat myself down about it, because I'm human. I didn't make me. So it's so funny about people like, oh, sin and God's pissed at me and all this. He made me. If you make like, I don't make a table and make it all crappy and then get pissed off at the table for being crappy. I made it. Okay. So don't give me that crap. To be liberated from thoughts like that have been very freeing in my life, to realize that we're all just doing the best that we can for the most part. Some of us are doing dirty, but I think we're all implanted with a particular nature. And, some people's nature is more predatory and selfish than others, but we're all programmed at birth, and particular hardware and programmed by imperfect people and all that, living in, an imperfect world. We're all kind of, I think, just doing the best with a very strange situation. Life is weird. Anyway, so fasted walking has been really helpful. I'm trying to just get steps in pretty much all day long, and I'm working out and stuff. Don't worry, I'm not anorexic. I do have fat to get rid of. It's not a lot, but for me, I accumulate all my weight in some unfortunate areas, like my love handles and like my boobs, basically. And so, as a dude, even when I was young, I was a little chubby ass little kid, so I've been all around, man. But I literally weigh from now, I think something like 15 pounds more than I did when I was in 5th grade, if that gives you an idea of what a little chunker I was. Okay. So I know what it's like. I know what it's all like. I've got some perspective. I've been all over the map as far as so many areas that you could be in life, as far as a lot of different things. So I got a little perspective, I guess. But anyway, so there's that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention that has been working very well as far as curbing the Sugar cravings. Sugar cravings. Whenever I have a little bit of carbs, not whenever, but a lot of times, I all of a sudden will crave tons more, and I become like this insatiable machine for carbs. So, a couple things that work really well. You can do this before or after a meal. Berberine works great. It lowers your blood sugar, lowers the craving for carbs, all of that stuff. Either berberine, citrus bergamot also works very well. Apple cider vinegar, a couple tablespoons of that also works pretty well, but nothing works as well as the berberine, I think. That in conjunction with about 50 milligrams of nicotinamide, like a couple times a day, just a real small amount or whatever, helps with the insulin resistance and then the biggest thing is staying away from seed oils. Seed oils, the worst thing for your body. They're in everything fried, whatever. So anyway, that's long enough. Have a wonderful day today. Hope you're doing well. Mwah.